Hello dear students, welcome to our education. Today we are going to try to solve class 10 CBSE social science paper which was conducted today. Today is 25th February 2025 and the session for this exam is 24-25 social science CBSE Delhi region. As you can see, this is set 1 of Delhi region. As you can see here, the first question is which one of the following languages is included in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution? See what happens over here. Bhojpuri, Magadhi, Rajasthani, all these three languages, they come under the Hindi languages. So Tamil is a different dialect. It comes under the 8th schedule. So Tamil will be the right answer. This question has been taken from, if I'll show you. This question has been taken from federalism lesson. There was one lesson, federalism lesson 3 in political science. So these small boxes are very important to go through before you go for the exam, because the questions are being picked by CBSE from these boxes also. So here, as you can see, here it is written Bhojpuri, Magadhi, Bundelkhandi, Chhattisgarhi, Rajasthani and many other grouped together under Hindi. So all these sub languages, they come under the Hindi language because they don't have the other dialect, they don't have some other form of writing. They all are written in Hindi language only, Hindi dialect only. That's why. And this is the list of all 22 languages included in 8th schedule of Indian Constitution. So here you can see Tamil is the language which has been added to this list, but not the Magadhi, Rajasthani or any other language. So let us come back to the paper again. And question number 2 is, in which one of the following organ of India are women enjoy the advantage of reservation? See, the answer is municipality, because 30% of the reservation has been kept for women in municipality or the local government, you can say, whether it is municipality or whether it is panchayat election. So but legislative council, so far they have not given reservation. Judiciary also, there is no reservation for female as such, and Rajya Sabha also there is no reservation as such. So this is the only institution, means local government, where the women have got the reservation for election. Now next we have question number 3. Choose the correctly matched pair from the following. And the correctly matched pair is this one, concurrent list, education. So education is a topic on which both state government as well as the central government, they can make laws. Because if you talk about CBSE board, this is a central government board. If you talk about the UP board, Madhya Pradesh board, Punjab board, these are the state government board. So education is a very common topic on which both state government as well as the central government, they make the laws or the rules. And if you talk about the other options, see, defense is very important topic, so we will not give, or any government will not give this topic to state government. So this is very important, and this goes with central government or the union list. Police goes with state government list, because you will see that every state has their own police. UP police, Uttarakhand police, Delhi police, Haryana police. So all the states, they have their own police. So police is a topic which comes under the state list. Next is trade also comes under the state list. So only the education is the topic which comes under the both union list and as well as the state list. When union government as well as the state government can make law on some of the topic, so such list will be known as concurrent list. Question number next, that is 5th question. What it is saying, which one of the following statement represents gender equality? I have seen all the options, so the best option is this one. Gender equality means when we give voting rights equally to men and women. When only men are getting, then that is not the gender equality, and vice versa. Even when women are only getting the voting right, that means that is also not the gender equality. So the option is giving voting rights both to men and women. Now question number 5th. To reform the party system, which of the following tasks have been made compulsory for the political parties? Choose the most appropriate option. This question has been taken from political science lesson, political parties. So if you want to make any of the party very unbiased, so what are the options or what are the steps to be taken by the political parties? So if your teacher must have taught you about the political parties, so the correct option would be this one, D. Second, third, and fourth are correct. What is in the second? It is now compulsory for all parties to have 1/3 women candidates. So recently, this law has been passed, that women reservation bill. Earlier, the women reservation has been given to the third local government only, that is panchayati government and the municipal government. But now in the Lok Sabha election also, or the legislative council elections also, one has to reserve seats for women. So this option is also correct. Second option, it is now compulsory for all political parties to hold their organizational election. Organizational election means every year they have to conduct election within the party to elect the president for the party, and that is compulsory. You will see that every year the party president of BJP also changes, the party president of Congress also changes, that because of the organizational election. So inside election these are called, they have to choose the leader for their party. And third one, it is now compulsory for all candidates to disclose information about pending criminal cases against them through affidavit. This you have seen that while filling the nomination form before the district magistrate of that particular district, every candidate has to give the detailed record of their police verification or that their criminal cases, whether if some cases are against them, then they have to show it and produce it before the DM or the election commission. So this is also correct. Why this is not correct? Because this is not mentioned anywhere that the political parties, they have to file the income tax return so far. So there is no such rule about the ITR. So these three are the correct options. Now question number 6 is, which of the following group is in the majority of Sri Lanka? Very simple question, and it was obviously Sinhala. So you have seen the Sri Lankan people, they speak Sinhala language, and the Indian Tamils, they used to speak Tamils, so they were in the minority, and the Sri Lankan people, they were speaking Sinhala, they were in the majority. Now next question is about assertion and reasoning. Assertion and reasoning question are very important to read them again and again, because you cannot come to the consequences without reading both the option. One is assertion and one is reason, and for this you have to have the good knowledge of the lesson thoroughly also. So here this question is again from the political parties political science book. Assertion is, every party in India has to register with the election commission. Please remember, again read this sentence, every party in India has to register with the election commission. That is correctly true, because without registering yourself with the election commission, you are not allowed to contest in the election, any type of election, whether Lok Sabha, whether Rajya Sabha, whether state assembly elections. So first, all the political parties, they have to register themselves or their party with the election commission. This option is correct, assertion is correct. Now let us go to the next reason. The government provides election symbol to all political parties in India. If you read in one go, so you will see that yes, this answer is also looking good. But if you read once again, the government provide election symbol to all political parties in India. Please see here, it is not the government who is providing symbols to the political party. Actually, this is election commission who is providing symbols. If you read it without reading it twice, so every student can make the mistake. So even first time when I read it, I thought the answer reason is correct. But when I read it twice, then I came to know that it is not the government who is giving the symbols or the election symbols to the political party. So the reason is incorrect. So the correct answer would be this one. A is true, but R is false. Now next question is data you have to read. There are the age group, two age groups mentioned over here, 7 and 8 years of age. The total strength of such student is 1200 in some area, and the net attendance is 1000. So next is 14 to 15 years of age group, and total strength is 1000 and the net attendance is 800. And the question is asked, the attendance percentage of this country of the age group of 14 and 15 years. It is very simple. You have to take out the percentage out of 1000 of 800 students. So 800 students are coming to the school and 200 are missing from the 1000 of the strength. So obviously this is simple one. The net attendance ratio of 14 to 15 years of age group is 80%. Next question is identify the sector on the basis of the following clues they have given. Now you have to identify the sector. The first clue is the objective of this sector is to earn profit. So obviously you know which sector has the main motive to earn the profit. It is not at all the public sector. This sector is owned by a person or a company. It is individually owned by some person, not by the government or by the many sectors. Tata Iron and Steel is example of this sector. As soon as I'll give you the name of Tata, you please remember that I'm talking about some private company. So if we will recognize the sector, this is not the cooperative sector, because in the cooperative sector the benefit or the profit is divided equally. So no single person is getting the profit out of this. Next is unorganized sector. These are small sectors and they don't have the capacity of opening iron and steel industries, such a huge industry. Next is public sector. Public sector means government sector. So this is also not the aim of government to earn profit. The aim of the government is to provide welfare to its people. So the last one is the correct answer, private sector. So these all the clues fit with this private sector company. Next question is why is it most easy to get loans? Why it is not easy to get loans from the formal sector? Read the following regions and choose the most appropriate option. So the most appropriate option is A1. First, second and third are correct, because you know availability of the bank is not decided. It is not so far in the rural areas and the far remote areas. And availability of the collateral, many poor people, they don't have any collateral money, collateral item. You understand what is collateral? It means that if you're taking loan from the bank also requires something from you. You have to show the documents of your house, you have to show the documents of your salary, so that on that basis only government or the bank provides you loan. Long and complicated loan process, because it takes a lot of paperwork, and an average person, it becomes very difficult for him to understand the loan process and the banking procedure, so he doesn't come to the bank. So these, I think, are the three main reasons that why people don't go for the formal sectors to apply for the loan. Now next question is by which organization is the Human Development Report published? It is simple one, United Nations Development Program. This is the organization which published Human Development Report. Identify the odd one out. This is Hindustan Computer Limited, this is Bharti Airtel Limited, this is Hindustan Unilever Limited, and the last one is Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. See if I can make out, these all three are private companies and this is only the public sector company. So this is the odd one out, that is BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electronics Limited. This is the company which is owned by the government, and rest of the three options, they are the private companies and owned by the private sector individuals. Next question is choose the correct option to fill in the blanks. The process of removing barriers on foreign trade and investment by the government is known as import tax, export tax, liberalization, industrialization. So the correct option is liberalization, because when we remove barriers from anywhere, so that is called liberty. We are getting liberty from the barriers. So similarly, if government is removing the tax barriers, removing the other paperwork, documentation for the companies who are coming from other countries to our country to set up their factories, to set up their businesses, so this process is called liberalization in economics, means removing barriers. Next question is two statements are given below. They are assertion and reason. Let us read the assertion. Most of the jute industries in India is located in a narrow belt along the banks of Hooghly River. If you see this question, this statement, so this is the correct statement, because in India all the jute manufacturing areas are settled around the banks of Hooghly River. You know why? Because jute requires a lot of water again and again, because to filter it, to beat it, to make it soften and soften. So Hooghly River provides better facility for transporting it also, and as the jute requires a lot of water, so this statement is true. And the reason is India is the second largest exporter of jute. This statement is also true. First largest exporter in the world is Bangladesh, and India comes at the second position. So both the statements are true. Okay, this one is also true and this one is also true. But the second thing, you have to see whether this reason is correct for this assertion or not. Obviously here in assertion it is asking most of the jute industries, they are located along the banks of Hooghly river, but India is the second largest exporter of jute is not the reason for this statement. So the correct answer would be this one. See, both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of the A. What is the correct explanation of A? That because jute requires a lot of water to beat it, to make it soften. So that is why it is located on the banks of Hooghly river, not because it is the largest exporter of the jute. So here also you have to see both the statement very clearly, and for this you again need to have the thorough knowledge of the entire chapter. Next question is match the column. Here we have sanctuaries and reserves or the national park, then we have to locate and match it with the state or the areas where they are located. See, first you need to understand which is the most popular national park. See, the most popular national park is Corbett National Park, and it was established by Jim Corbett after the name of Jim Corbett, and it is in Uttarakhand. So let us first match D with 1. D with 1. See, here is only one option where D is matched with 1. So no need to go for the other question. Just go check it once. A 2. Sariska, they are matching with 2. Yes, Sariska Wildlife Sanctuary, it is in Rajasthan. Next, B 3. Manas is in Assam. Manas Tiger Reserve is in Assam. And the last one is Periyar Tiger Reserve. It is in Kerala. As the name is implying that Periyar means something related to South Indian. So it is in South India. So you need to identify the easiest one, the easiest option which you know the answer of. First match that particular. I know about the Corbett National Park very well, so I have matched this option with Uttarakhand. As soon as I matched it with the Uttarakhand, I got the answer because no other option is matching with the D with 1 option. So this is the correct option. And question number 16 is Mrs. Monica along with her family clears a piece of land and grows grain and other food crop to feed her family. When the soil's fertility is gone, she prepares another piece of land for agriculture. Which type of method of agriculture does she use? Plantation, slash and burn, intensive, commercial. Very simple MCQ. This time CBSE given, and this is slash and burn because you know this is also called shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation, what the people do, they clear a patch of land at one place, and thereafter after 1 or 2 years, when the fertility of that particular area is has been finished, they move on to the next area, and it is mostly practiced in the northeast region of our country. And this is called slash and burn. Slash means cutting. Thereafter, after cutting the trees, they burn the entire region of that area, and for 1 or 2 years they do the agriculture in that patch of area, and after 2 years they move on to the next area. Next question is the germ of which disease paved the way for Europe to conquest America in the later half of the 16th century. This is very simple question again. Only there was smallpox. Only one germ of the germs of the smallpox, and those were spread in the entire North American region, and it wiped off the entire community of the North American residents, or you can say the tribes of the North America, and thereafter it made the way for the European countries to establish their colonies in the entire North America. Next question is in reference to the Germania allegory, the olive branch around the sword symbolizes which one of the following? If you remember the Germania, that was the symbol of the German nation. She was holding one sword in her hand, and that sword was wrapped around with the olive branch. In the Western countries or the European countries, olive is the symbolization of peace. The way we have dove or white color for the symbol of peace, similarly they have olive tree as the symbol of peace. Next question is which among the following newspaper is related to Bal Gangadhar Tilak? So Bal Gangadhar Tilak is usually related with this newspaper. This is called Kesari. Question number 20 and the last MCQ of this paper is arrange the following historical events in a chronological order and choose the correct option. See, we have all these events. Sometimes what happens, even after knowing the answer, we get confused. So first of all, you understand which is the correct option, which of the following option is the very close to the knowledge of your conscience, which you know the best one. So as soon as Gandhiji returned from South Africa, we all know that he started Champaran Satyagraha first of all. So as I know that Champaran Satyagraha was the first Satyagraha or the movement which he had initiated in India. So this is the third option. So let me check how many third option are at the beginning of this. Thereafter Kheda movement, because Champaran, Kheda and Ahmedabad mill strike, these were the three incident which he had started initially in the initial years of his India visit. And thereafter Kheda, so if we'll place Kheda in second number, third and fourth, here you can see there's second option, so it is wrong. Third and fourth, so this one I think the correct. So third, fourth, second and one. So first of all he started Champaran Satyagraha, thereafter Kheda Satyagraha, and thereafter Rowlatt Satyagraha, and the last one is Bardoli Satyagraha, that was started by Vallabhbhai Patel. So sometime we might not be knowing all the incidents in chronological order. So what you do, you pick out which is the most correct answer about. So I was very sure about Champaran Satyagraha, Kheda Satyagraha, but little confused about the Bardoli Satyagraha and Rowlatt Satyagraha. So these two options, as soon as I saw in the option, so this was the closest option I got for the answer. So this is the answer. Champaran Satyagraha is the correct answer, D option. Now these are section B, C, D, E, so on. Very short answer type question, long answer, short answer type question, long answer type question. Questions are quite easy. Thereafter, this is the long answer type question of 5 marks each, and this is source based question section, section E. Source based 2, passage 3. So question paper is not so very tough, only the MCQs were a little bit tricky, but the students, even the average student, will be able to do them very easily. And map question was also easy this time. The place where the session of the Indian National Congress was held in 1927, that was Chennai. The place where Mahatma Gandhi broke the salt law, that was Dandi, Gujarat. And the International Airport of West Bengal, that is Kolkata. Software Technology Park in Karnataka, that is Bangalore. Nuclear power plant to create in Maharashtra, that is Tarapur. And major seaport of Odisha, that is Paradip. So that's it for today's set paper 1 solution. Hope you have liked the video. Thank you so much.